Hey, what's up, everybody? We got another clip for you from the Bologna Burger podcast. This one was with Bobby McCarty. And just a side note, this is before the dust up with Josh Perry and before he got called out on the Dale Jr. podcast. So that's just a little side note. We weren't avoiding any questions or anything like that. This just happened to happen before that happened. All right. Peace.
Hey, Bobby McCarty.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain.
Well, I wouldn't complain either if I just took a checker flag on Sunday afternoon and beat one of the best back to the line, man. Congratulations on your win on Sunday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was a good weekend for us.
Right on, man. Well, the first and foremost, before we dive into racing, I want to congratulate you from Tony and I on the new arrival that you've got there in the house, and wanted to give you a minute to talk about that, man. Congratulations on your new addition.
Yeah, how's dad life? You got you some white New Balances yet?
Thank you, man. Yeah, Miss Hadley made her way in February 5th, and just really blessed, man. You know, I got a great wife, supports my racing and me on days that I have bad days, and keeps the house going. And I really got to thank her now because I'm one of those guys when I fall asleep, I'm out. And she's been waking up with the baby and during the nights and doing all the fun stuff that comes along with that. But it's really cool, man. It's different. You know, I got a son and I love him to death, but you know, a little girl, that was something I wasn't prepared for, and it's definitely different. Everybody told me that having a little girl is different from having a son, but right. I didn't really believe them until now. But I love them both to death, man. I'm really a lucky guy. You know, definitely no complaints on that end.
Well, hopefully she looks like mama and not like you, so we can only hope. Cool, man. Well, like I said, man, I appreciate you jumping on here with us tonight and talk a little racing. And I mean, man, you know, if I couldn't, you know, we talked a little bit early last week and talked about you going down to Southern National this past weekend to put the car out there and test some things, getting ready for this weekend's season opener for the Cars Tour. And by God, you went down there and won the thing and held off one of the best in the business to do it. And just talk a little bit about your weekend at Southern National and how you got it to victory lane.
Yeah, we had a really good weekend. We was trying some new stuff on the cars. We got a little behind towards the end of last year. So during the off season, the guys at Nelson Motorsports they went to work, man, and they found some things that needed to be better, and they kept working on it, and we got to the track and we unloaded, and the car was really good, and you know, we just kept working on it. The track changed quite a bit. From when we got there Thursday to Sunday, it really rubbered up, and when that place rubbers up, it changes a lot. So the weekend started out really good. We lost the balance a little bit, and we come in Sunday and we went to work on it, and we qualified outside pole there and missed it for just by a little bit. And you know, really got to thank all the guys, man, Triplet and Marcus and Timothy and PJ. They stood on me really hard throughout the race about saving and making sure that I have tires at the end of the race, and coached me on, you know, how my line looked, where I needed to be better. And I just, you know, essentially did what they told me to do and went when they wanted me to go and took care of the car, and you know, things they worked out for us. You know, we went at the right time, and you know, very few times do you pick a game strategy before a race and it goes the way you want it to. But Sunday was one of those days where, you know, we picked a strategy, we knew where we wanted to ride, and we knew what lap we wanted to go on, and we did that, and you know, it played out for us. So it was a good weekend. And then, you know, with Kurt at All Right Carriers, my main sponsor, with that being, you know, his essentially his home track and a race that he puts on, you know, to get on there and win it. And I've never won at Kinley before, so
right.
With everything that was going on there, with it being, you know, a track that's personal to Kirk, and one that I haven't won at yet, and that really bothered me a lot. So to do that for Kirk and get the win and spend some time with him in victory lane, it was a good weekend for us.
Well, no pressure, but Kurt's sponsoring this weekend's race too. So I mean, no pressure to win. No pressure to win this weekend. Couple of things I do want to ask you about that. Oh, that's really loud. Sorry about that. You there?
Yeah, I got you.
I guess the one thing I wanted to ask you about that I didn't realize they had done. So if I'm not mistaken, they put some of that. Didn't Diaz put some of that traction compound up in the second groove up there at Southern National this past weekend?
Yeah, he did.
Talk a little bit about that, because I know that racetrack gets a really bad rap for being a one groove racetrack. Talk a little bit about that, and because honestly, man, that it gave Lee, it gave you guys side by side racing literally there for the last couple laps. Talk a little bit about how that may affect this weekend's race.
I think it helped. We had some light traffic we had to deal with, and a few we had to pass on the outside, and it definitely helped through the corner. But that's a racetrack that you go from a ton of banking right through max load to essentially none. So when you go through max load, all your load's on the right front, and as you come out the corner, the load transfers to the right rear.
Right.
But at the same time, you lose all your banking, so you lose a ton of lateral grip. So the compound helped through center, but it was still kind of the same deal coming out the corner.
Right.
Plus, it was really cold, and I feel like it would have worked better if we would have ran a 15-minute or so practice session on the compound to make it react and engage.
Right.
It just sits up there, and if you don't, racing helps. Running a race on it's going to help. But I feel like if we would have engaged it, Sunday morning in the practice, then it would have definitely helped the actual race itself. It would have been warm already. It was kind of cold out there, so really didn't have much heat going into it. And we ran a long race, but I think we could have got some cars on it during practice, and got some heat in it, got it working, then it would have been better.
Cool. The other thing I wanted to ask you is so I know this past weekend you guys at Nelson Motorsports run the R&S chassis. Obviously Marcus Richmond, Steve Stallings. If I'm not mistaken, that's their first win. Is that correct? As the new company?
Yes, sir. That was their first win.
Awesome, man. You get that. You get to be the name of the face of the company. There's the first ever win. Congratulations on that for sure.
Yeah, it was Steve. Steve's a really great guy. I'm really good friends with Blake, their son, and many weekends I spent over there at their house just hanging out and helping them when they race. So, Steve and I feel have more of a personal relationship than anything, and the same with Marcus. We started this deal out as a race team, and I feel we transitioned into more of a family. So, those two guys coming together and making a company that builds the chassis that we use, and to get them their first win, two guys that have meant a lot to me and have done a lot for my career in racing. So to get them their first win is really special for me, considering everything they've done for me, and just got to keep digging, man. I want to help them get their name out there and get people interested and tell as much stuff as we can to help them out. So winning that first race for them was a cool moment for me.
Well, hey, man, you can get their second win before Philip Morris even jumps in the car on Saturday, so no pressure there. So, hey, man, so the one thing I do want to ask is, and you and I, we've talked pretty candidly throughout the race season. After Carteret County last year, when you got hung up in that big wreck there at the end, you were really down on dumps and felt like that your chances for a championship were pretty much done. And obviously that all turned around in Orange County. Josh Berry had some bad luck, and you were able to win the race and make it a race there for the championship there at South Boston. Talk a little bit about the last couple races and just, that's just a huge momentum swing for you guys there at the end of the season for Nelson to be the two-time champion for the Cars Tour on the late model side.
Yeah, points racing is a different kind of racing, and you kind of have to take what the car will give you and move on. If there's a fifth place car, you just got to finish it, or whatever the case. So after Carteret, man, we just kind of figured, it is what it is. We can't control what goes on with the 88 team or any other team for that matter. And, we want to win races. I mean, championships are great, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, championships speak a lot about the team, and I want to win everything I can for the team. But after Carteret, we just we sat down and talked about it, and it was what it was. I felt that was a deal kind of out of my control, and it's part of racing. It happens. So after Carteret, it was just kind of, all right, what we need to do to get the cars better so we can go win races. We had good runs throughout the season. We just couldn't ever get everything to fall together, and we went to Orange County and we went to qualify, and it rained, and it got us in the back of the pack, and I was thinking, great, that's another thing we need to be starting mid-pack at a track that's kind of known for being hard to pass, and it turned out to be a blessing, getting your points racing, so you gotta watch for everything that's going on. And we was on a restart, and everybody was doubled up, so I was kind of hanging low to where I could see the whole field, and I seen the smoke come out. I didn't know where it was coming from, but I seen the smoke, so I went on and went to the apron, and we was fortunate to miss that whole deal. And once I realized what was going on, I knew then if we had a chance, I had to win that race. So the guys, we put up a strategy then, and I knew I needed to get every point I could get, so I knew I needed to take the lead fairly quick so I could get the point for the most laps led. And, we talked on that red flag on what we needed to do, and we executed and come out there with the most amount of points we could get. And then we went to South Boston and just struggled all weekend to find speed. The car was driving good, just couldn't find the speed we needed to find. And qualified mid-pack again, and starting to think this isn't going the way we need it to go. And as the race went on, I got a little better with the car, just figuring out how the car wanted to be drove, and playing to the strengths of the car, and utilizing the top groove at that racetrack. That's a place where you can make up a lot of ground on the top on restarts, and just essentially had to roll our sleeves up and go to work. There was no more excuses. It was the last race. We had to do what we needed to do, and we went to work. That's all there really was to it. We didn't wait for the situation to come to us. We went to the situation and we tackled it head on. And I think that's what makes us such a great team is we don't back down from a challenge. We embrace it, and you just gotta have that grit when you're racing against the teams that we're racing against in the car store. You gotta be ready. It's going to be a fight, whether it's a single race win or a championship. You're going to go in that last race more than likely having to fight for it. So just really glad that we answered what we needed to do, and coming out with the championship was really cool for us.
So have you been able to tell a whole lot of difference? Like, you got a lot of new variables going on. They got the new body style, and you got the new RNS chassis compared to the A&E, and then the old body from last year. Have you been able to tell any significant amount of difference in the grip or the feel of the car? And are you and with on that same question, are you going to run the new car or the old car this weekend at Kinley?
The plan is the new car. We're hoping the weather will cooperate with us for tomorrow, and we'll go down there and shake it down and see how it does. But right now we're fully committed to this new car and getting it ready for Saturday. So unless something drastically happens, we'll be racing a new car. And I'm confident in all these guys. Everybody in Nelson Motorsports built great race cars. They're very thorough with what they do, and when it comes to engineering and a setup guy, between Marcus and Triplet, I feel I got the two of the best in the business. So I have nothing but confidence in these guys, and I know they'll put together a piece that we can go win races with. So I'm pretty confident we'll be running the new car. I'm excited to see what it feels like. Marcus has made some changes that we're all really happy about. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to get in. I hope this tomorrow. We really don't want to go to the track Friday with the new car trying to shake it down. But
right.
again, it's those situations. We can't drag feet and just say, you know what, I don't want to run the new car this weekend because I don't think we'll break it in time. It's one of those situations. We know what we got to do. After Sunday, we know where we need to be. So we got all our data, our lap times we need to be running, treadwear, everything we need to know. We have everything as far as for a race. We have all the information. So all that's left is we just got to go to work and do our part, and the rest will take care of itself.
Bobby, one question I've got for you is before you joined Nelson Motorsports full time, you were doing the NASCAR thing. You run at South Boston a lot. Obviously, the last 2 years you've been full time, or last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, you've been cars. This will be your third year full time in the car store. Talk a little bit about your decision and Nelson Motorsports' decision to commit to the Cars Tour instead of essentially running for NASCAR points. And look, I don't think there's anything wrong with running for NASCAR points, but ask Lane Riggs the same question. Just wanted to get your input on, obviously you were Touring 12 driver for the second year in a row. You guys have committed to the Cars Tour. Talk a little bit about the Cars Tour and why you guys have decided to do that.
Yeah, so really, when it comes down to it, we're trying to figure out, these cars are expensive. What can we do to combat the cost of racing the late model stock car? So first off, Chris and Jack, they do a really good deal with the payout and the social media, just bringing awareness to the sport and the series, and getting you in front of a bigger crowd than what you would in NASCAR. So Chris and those guys, in my opinion, they got the best deal going on right now. And if you look at Martinsville this past year, I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, you'll probably correct me, Stephen, but I'm pretty sure the top 7 was car store cars. It was either drivers or affiliate drivers of teams that run the car store full season.
Yep.
You go to a race like that with so many people, and for that many that run a series to be up front, that's not a coincidence. It's the best of the best.
Yep.
I honestly believe that there's 15 drivers that could win at any given time in a car store race, and we've seen it last year. The first 6 races was 6 different winners, and you just don't see that on your weekly deal. You have 3 guys that you're racing, and it is what it is. Whereas the car store, where we got the Lucas Oil Touring 12, so you're racing against those 12 guys, and then we have 5 or 6 that follow the series that aren't a part of the Touring 12, and then you got your few that run these tracks we race at that are local, and they wanna run with the tour. So
yeah.
You go to all these different racetracks and you race against the best of the best, and you go to Martinsville or South Boston for their July 4th race, or Langley for the Hampton Heat, and most of the time it's the same guys from the car store that you're racing. So really it's a Martinsville caliber field every weekend, and when you race against those guys every weekend, when you go to Martinsville, who you got to beat. It's just those same guys. So just from a competitive standpoint, and then all the kickbacks that Jack and those guys do for the competitors, and they do what they can to take care of us as far as payout, and this year they're helping with beverages and expenses getting to the track, and they're doing a lot for the racers, and in my opinion, they're going above and out of their way to do what they can to take care of us. So it's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion. If you got a late model stock car and you're not trying to run a few races with the car store, I don't know what you're looking for, because that's the best thing going.
I'm glad that you brought up the beverages. So I have to ask, so with Bobby McCarty as a Touring 12, Lucas Oil Touring 12 driver, part of your contract states that you get a case of water or a case of beer each race weekend. So what will Nelson Motorsports be doing this weekend? You can plead the fifth if you'd like.
You can say Coors Light. That's light water. So
we'll probably be doing a case of water. I believe what we're doing.
Well, that's cool. Well, if you need a beer on Friday night after practice, I will take you and I'll take you out for a beer for sure, bud. So, well, look, man, I think I know me and you've talked about it. You don't points race, and you've won 2 championships in the Cars Tour. I'm gonna start calling you. Nickname for me is gonna be two-time defending Cars Tour champion. Obviously, I know you're not thinking about a championship right now. I know you're focused basically on Southern National for this weekend. But one thing I do want to kind of peek ahead to, I think it's the biggest late model race, obviously for the Cars Tour, and I think it'll be bigger and better this year. But the Old North State Nationals in Orange County, GSX Scratch qualifying night is 1 month from today. So talk a little bit about that race and that event, and what that event you think brings to short track racing.
Well, first off, it's in what I consider a neutral location. I mean, Orange County is kind of central to most of the tracks that we race at. So, neutral location. It's a great racetrack. It's a fast racetrack. It's a racetrack that has a lot of character. And I love racetracks with character. I'm not a fan of smooth racetracks. You go to a racetrack that's bumpy, it's got craters in it, whatever the case. But the more character the racetrack has, I think the more fun it is to race. But paying that kind of payout, and again, just bringing more people out. I've never seen that many people at Orange County before, as we did last year. That was a lot of fans that showed up, and I got to do the ride along deal with you. And we had a lot of fans come down there for that, and it's really cool to interact with the fans the way we did. And we camped out at the racetrack, and there was a ton of people out there camping out, and they was having a good old time out there in the fields, and a lot of families involved. I mean, it's good for short track racing. We go out there and we put on a good show. We're racing hard. Unfortunately, we got caught up in a mess last year and wasn't able to see what we had there at the end. But, you put on races like that and you bring a huge crowd. And, for me as a race car driver to be in front of that many people and have people come up to you during Fan Fest and they say, hey, man, I follow you everywhere. I've been watching you on the Cars Tour Live deal. It's really cool. And again, the Car Tour does a great job of promoting races and making sure that, the Touring 12 drivers, that you get to go out and meet fans and interact with them away from the racetrack. And I think that's really cool. They see us at the racetrack and, they really don't get to interact. But, we go to some of these places. I can't remember where we went last year, some music place. But, we got to just sit there and talk with fans and I think one of the guys I didn't talk to, he drove all the way from Ohio just to watch that Orange County race.
Right.
So, the Car Tour with that race is doing a really good job of just bringing in a lot of people from a lot of different places. And, again, as far as drivers and, just trying to get your name out there is the best thing they got going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And I've talked with Chris and Jack at length in regards to this year's event. They've got some things lined up and some things in place, I think, that'll make this event a better experience for the fans this year. And I think you're going to have, not that it wasn't competitive enough last year, but I think you're going to have an even more competitive field of race cars. I feel like you're going to have somewhere in the upwards of probably 45 to 55 cars show up to make that 28 car field. So, but yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's a great thing for short track racing, and I'm excited about being a part of it this year with them. And I know you guys, each and every guy that especially Touring 12 guys, I know you guys are, don't want to say you cheat and peek ahead to that. I know you guys obviously have Southern National this weekend and Hickory in 2 weeks, but it's got to be definitely one that you circle on the calendar.
Oh, yeah. Triplet and Timothy both have deep roots at Orange County, and they love that place. So, we're definitely looking forward to going there, every time. especially me, I get to hear Triplett tell me how I'm not driving a racetrack right, and how if it was 10 years ago, he'd wear me out and everything else. So,
Well, I mean, we could put together something, man.
Yeah.
We could get you both out there on a Thursday afternoon before Friday practice, couldn't we?
I've got a car from 10 years ago if he wants to try it with one.
I'd say I want to do it, but I know if it happens and he does show me up, I'll never hear the end of it. He'll remind me about it 40 years from now.
That is a
I don't know if
fact.
that's something I want to tackle yet.
I hear you. Cool. Well, look, man. I know you're a busy man. I do want to end with one question. Obviously, a great run for you guys, Nelson Motorsports guys, this past weekend at Southern National. What does it take for you guys to put it in victory lane again on Saturday afternoon?
A lot of the same that we did Sunday. You know, you gotta pick the right place to be, where you're not killing the car and conserving your stuff and just being smart, man. You know, 150 laps on one set of tires is a long time. So, you know, we just gotta play our cards right and hold them when we need to hold them, and when it's time to lay them out, we'll lay them out. And you know, hopefully we did our homework since Sunday and we've made the car better, so you know, you just got to play everything to a T. You know, again, we're racing against some of the best, so
right.
You got to have all your ducks in a row, and you know, you got to capitalize when you got to. So we just got to go back with the same plan. We'll have to ride a little bit longer, but you know, I'm confident. I think we got just as good a shot at anybody as winning this weekend. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool, man. Sounds good. Bobby, look forward to catching with you on Friday afternoon at practice, man. So good luck to y'all. Hopefully y'all get practice in tomorrow afternoon. Doesn't rain you out, and we'll see you on Friday.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks,
Thanks
Bobby.
for coming on, man.
Take care, bud.
All right. Yeah.
All right. I just realized I forgot to give him the opportunity to thank all
Thank
his
his sponsors. I was waiting because I was,
Solid Rock
it
Carriers.
is what it is.
BTS Tires.
Autos by Nelson.
Autos by Nelson. Decal Source.
And if we forgot anybody,
Castro.
and if we forgot anybody, we are very sorry.
Yeah. And I will apologize to Bobby. I'll give him
First show of the new season, Rust.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back with another Bologna Burger podcast clip. This is our interview with Bobby McCarty.